The Supreme Court's landmark hearing on same-sex marriages begins. The Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, says there's no absolute concept of a man and a woman. The centre opposes the pleas to legalize gay marriages, reiterates the argument of a biological man and a biological woman. The five-judge bench to continue the hearing on Wednesday. Strong comments by the Supreme Court in the Bilkis Bano case. The Supreme Court seeks the files that were the basis of the release of the rape and murder convicts in the case. Asks, did the government apply its mind? The centre cites privilege, indicates it does not want to produce the documents. And it's heating up. An orange heat alert in eastern India. Heat wave declared a state disaster in Tripura as temperature hits 4 degrees above normal. The temperature crosses 42 degrees Celsius in 48 cities across India. NCP leader Ajit Pawar puts speculations to rest, says he will stay with the NCP amid talks of his switch to the BJP with his supporters. Pawar slams what he calls rumours. And India's first Apple retail store opens up in Mumbai. None other than the Apple CEO Tim Cook meets the first excited customers. Many of them travel from different states and wait for hours to be the first to enter the brand new store. Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Priyanshi Sharma. Let's get you the top news stories. The Supreme Court heard a bunch of petitions seeking legal recognition of same-sex marriages. Now, in a strong remark, the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, said that there's no absolute concept of a man or an absolute concept of a woman at all. He said it's not the question of what your genitals are, and it's far more complex than that. That comment has been welcomed by several people from the LGBTQIA+ community. Now, the centre, on the other side, has called these requests urban elitist views and says that it would be better if the matter goes to the parliament. On the other side, the petitioners have cited the discrimination that they face while they demand legal recognition to gay marriages. The hearing will now resume on Wednesday. My colleague Sunil Prabhu gets us more details.
Many important points because it was a long hearing, but definitely the five-judge bench deciding not to get into the personal laws of various religions, be it Hindu, Muslim, Christians, Jews. As they said, we won't get into that gamut and, the adoption, inheritance and all those other issues. We'll do the middle path and just confine ourselves to the Special Marriages Act. And the Chief Justice of India making an intervention saying there is no absolute concept of a man or an absolute concept of a woman at all. It's not the question of what your genitals are, but it's far more complex. That's the point, and not even the Special Marriages Act says, man or woman. The very notion of a man and woman is not absolute, and it's based on, and just not based on genitals, of which, of course, the Solicitor General countered, saying that a biological man means biological man, and there is no notion to this. So it's been a hectic argument. This after the centre made a continuous plea that it's not the judiciary's domain, it's not the courts to decide, it is Parliament, that states must intervene in this matter. They must be a party because this is part of the concurrent list. But I think the five-judge bench were quite clear and categorical that they would continue to hear this matter and decide one way or the other on the Special Marriages Act and see whether there is a space and a legal point in terms of legitimizing the same-sex marriage. Of course, as you rightly pointed out, Mukul Rohtgi, on behalf of the petitioners, using Hindu mythology to cut across and make his point on a consistent basis, saying that this is a right of individual privacy, individuals' right to dignity, and making a continuous argument saying that the concept of both man and women have to be seen in its entirety and not by the mere prism of how the Solicitor General was pointing out.
And now to another big story from the Supreme Court. The top court made strong observations in the case over the remission of the rape and murder convicts in the Bilkis Bano case. Now, the court questioned whether the government applied its mind in granting remission to the 11 convicts, and the court demanded documents that formed the basis of the government's decision to grant remission to these murder and rape convicts. The government, on the other side, citing privilege, has indicated that it does not want to produce the documents. But the court has asked the centre to present the documents, saying that a pregnant woman was gang raped and several people were killed. Like you cannot compare apples with oranges, similarly, a massacre cannot be compared with a single murder. You must be feeling the heat. Temperatures are rising and are above normal in several parts of the country currently. 48 cities have reported a maximum temperature of 42 degrees Celsius or above, well above the normal. The hottest places in the country currently are Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh, Baripada in Odisha and Hamirpur in Uttar Pradesh. All of them have recorded a maximum temperature of 44.2 degrees Celsius. And it's not just in North India. In the eastern part of the country as well, there is an orange alert, which means that there is an increased likelihood of heat illness symptoms. A severe heat wave is also predicted in isolated parts of Bihar and West Bengal. And while we focus on the heat wave and the rising temperatures across the country, in Tripura, the condition is that concerning that the state government has declared the heat wave as a state disaster. Authorities in Tripura and even in Mumbai have issued advisories to people to stay protected from the heat. And even though it sounds basic, but it's extremely important to stress on keeping yourself hydrated and limiting your sun exposure, if at all you can, to prevent any heat strokes. And now to political news. The NCP leader Ajit Pawar today has put to rest the speculations of him joining the BJP along with his supporters. He has said that I am with the Nationalist Congress Party and I will never leave the NCP after there were speculations of him joining the Bharatiya Janata Party. Take a look at what all happened.
NCP leader Ajit Pawar breaking his silence to deny reports he was splitting with the NCP and going with the BJP.
माझ्याबद्दल किंवा माझ्या सहकाऱ्यांच्याबद्दल गैरसमज निर्माण करण्याचा काम जाणीवपूर्वक वेगवेगळ्या ठिकाणी होताना मी स्वतः बघतोय. वास्तविक ह्या ज्या काही बातम्या चाललेल्या आहेत किंवा बातम्या दाखवण्यात येतायत त्या बातम्यांमध्ये काही तथ्य नाही.
Before this, Ajit Pawar met many of the party MLAs seemed to be in his camp. The NCP party whip MLA Anil Patil was also with him. Mr. Patil said almost the same thing as Ajit Pawar, but also added that whatever decision Ajit will take, they will support him.
मैं अजीत दादा के साथ में हूँ और अजीत दादा पार्टी के साथ में.
अजीत दादा जो भी फैसला लेंगे आप उनके साथ हैं.
अजीत दादा पवार साहब को बगैर पूछे कोई फैसला नहीं ले सकते.
Earlier in Pune, party boss and Ajit's uncle Sharad Pawar rejected the reports. But Sanjay Raut of the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena fueled the news by quoting Sharad Pawar and saying that there was pressure from the ED.
मेरी जानकारी है इस प्रकार की ये सब अफवाहें हैं. अजीत पवार हमारे महाविकास आघाड़ी के शीर्ष नेता है, महत्वपूर्ण नेता है, लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन है.
The timing of these reports is interesting. It's ahead of a Supreme Court verdict on the Shinde government's legitimacy. If the membership of 16 MLAs, including Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, is cancelled, then to save the government, could Ajit Pawar's group be roped in? But looking at the number of MLAs of the BJP and Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena in the assembly, it seems unlikely. The ruling alliance has 165, 20 more than the majority mark. So even if 16 MLAs are disqualified, the government will continue to have a majority. However, now with Ajit Pawar clarifying his stand, it seems like he has put a full stop to all the rumours. With Sunil Singh and Sohit Mishra, Bureau Report, NDTV.
And now moving on to the other big story. Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar has come down heavily on senior Congress leader Siddaramaiah for his remarks over 31 tribals from Karnataka who were stuck in crisis-hit Sudan. Now, the former Chief Minister of Karnataka, in a series of tweets, had alleged that the government is not acting properly in bringing back the stranded people belonging to a tribal community in Karnataka. His allegation drew a sharp retort from Mr. Jaishankar. He said that it is grossly irresponsible of you to politicize this situation, and no electoral goal justifies endangering Indians abroad. He said, "I'm simply appalled at your tweet. There are lives at stake, and don't do politics." That's what the External Affairs Minister wrote in a tweet denouncing Siddaramaia's remarks. And now moving on to the other big story, the latest from the investigation in the Atik Ahmad murder case. And now the investigation reveals that the shooters of Atik Ahmad were inspired by gangster Lawrence Bishnoi. Meanwhile, the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has made his first comment on Atik Ahmad's murder, while the UP government is being criticized for the law and order situation in the state, as the shocking murder of Atik Ahmad happened while he was in custody of the UP police and while the UP police was responsible for his security. The CM hasn't responded to the criticism directly, but he said that no mafia or criminal can threaten industrialists in Uttar Pradesh. Take a look at this report.
उत्तर प्रदेश दंगों के रूप में कुख्यात था। बहुत सारे जनपद तो ऐसे थे जहां के नाम से लोग डरते थे। आज मित्रों, उत्तर प्रदेश में किसी जनपद के नाम से डरने की आवश्यकता नहीं। अब कोई पेशेवर अपराधी और माफिया किसी उद्यमी को फोन से डरा धमका नहीं सकता है। कोई नहीं डरा धमका सकता है।
Days after the murders of gangster Atik Ahmad and his brother in Prayagraj, shot in the head in police custody on live TV, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, facing a wave of criticism over the state's law and order situation, today once again claimed things have become much better in the state under his government. This, as UP police sources claimed that they had made a fresh breakthrough after interrogating the accused, who shot Atik and his brother dead in the presence of a sizable police security. Police sources told NDTV the mastermind of the murder is 23-year-old Sunny Singh, one of the shooters, who plotted the murders inspired by jail gangster Lawrence Bishnoi. Singh reportedly got heavily influenced by Bishnoi's communally charged speeches and dreamt of a big kill like that of Sidhu Moosewala, who was gunned down allegedly by members of the Bishnoi gang on the 29th of May last year.
Sunny Singh was inspired by gangster Lawrence Bishnoi, who is currently lodged in Punjab jail. He watched Lawrence Bishnoi's interview on television. A private news channel did an interview with Lawrence Bishnoi a month back. He got inspired by Lawrence Bishnoi. He revealed that Lawrence Bishnoi is gangster number one, but he wanted to become a bigger gangster than Lawrence Bishnoi.
Police sources say it was Singh who brought the other two accused, Lovlesh Tiwari and Arun Maurya, together to carry the shootout. But it is still not clear how the three got to know each other and where they found the money to buy the sophisticated, expensive weapons to carry out the shooting. With Saurabh Shukla in Prayagraj, Bureau Report, NDTV.
And several opposition parties have been criticizing the Yogi government in Uttar Pradesh for this murder that happened while Atik Ahmad and his brother, both of them, were in the custody of the UP police. The NCP chief Sharad Pawar was the latest to hit out at the UP government. Here's what he said.
देश चलता है संविधान के ऊपर, कानून व्यवस्था के ऊपर। समाज में कोई गलत काम करने वाले हो तो कानून व्यवस्था में इनका किस तरह से करना चाहिए, इसकी सुविधा है। मगर ये कानून व्यवस्था, संविधान दूर करके कानून हाथ में लेकर कुछ कदम उठाने की बात होती है, और ये बात बड़ी अच्छी है। ऐसा एक माहौल तैयार करने का कोशिश होता है कि देश के लिए अच्छी बात नहीं।
With that, it's time for a very short break. But on the other side, we'll tell you why the delivery executives of quick delivery app Blinkit are protesting and why the app has not been able to deliver its orders. Stay tuned for that and a whole lot more. Welcome back. If you've not been able to place orders on the quick delivery app Blinkit, that's because the company's delivery executives are on a strike for almost a week now. Why are they protesting? They're protesting as Blinkit has reduced the fixed payouts per delivery from 25 rupees earlier to 15 rupees now. Blinkit even had to shut down some of its stores in Gurugram as the workers have been protesting. My colleague Nayantara met some of these protesting workers and let's understand from them what their concerns are.
Hundreds of Blinkit delivery executives are on a strike after Blinkit, which is a quick commerce app that promises home delivery of groceries in under 15 minutes, has slashed their fixed payouts per delivery from rupees 25 to rupees 15 last week. Now, these strikes have forced closed numerous Blinkit warehouses in Delhi NCR and have also caused a 1% loss in the company's revenues this quarter. So services have stopped in many parts of the city, but these delivery agents are adamant that they won't work and met the Gurugram Deputy Labour Commissioner on Monday to put forth their set of demands. Let's listen in to what they have to say.
हमारी बिना नोटिस के आईडी 25 में कर दी गई, उसके बाद 25 में हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं और फिर दोबारा से बिना नोटिस के हमारी आईडी 10 और 15 रुपए में कर दी गई है। अब बताइए हम 10 या 15 रुपए में कैसे हम काम कर सकते हैं?
हर चीज़ में महंगाई बढ़ रही है, खर्चे भी बढ़ रहे हैं, पेट्रोल से लेकर गाड़ी का मेंटेनेंस सब कुछ महंगा हो चुका है और इन लोगों ने एकदम से अर्निंग घटा दी।
मैं 15-15, 16-16 घंटे मेहनत करता हूँ, तब मेरे 25 रुपए में जब थी तो मेरे इंसेंटिव मिला के मुझे 800-900 रुपए का काम हो जाता था। अब मुझे 15 रुपए में हो गया है, तो अब बताइए मैम मैं क्या बचाऊंगा, क्या खाऊंगा, क्या करूँगा? यहाँ तक अगर कोई एक्सीडेंट या कोई राइडर खत्म भी हो जाएगा तो अंदर के स्टोर से कोई भी मेरा सीनियर ये देखने नहीं जाएगा कि वो मर गया या जिंदा है।
So as you can see, these delivery agents are furious and helpless. Their already meager earnings have nosedived, making it impossible for them to make ends meet. So a delivery agent who was, making 800 or 900 rupees a day is now barely scraping together 500 rupees. So out of that, a sizable chunk is going to be spent on fuel and paying off loans that they've taken to buy the bikes that they actually complete these deliveries on. So if that sounds bad enough, it unfortunately gets worse. These delivery agents are gig workers, which means that they can't rely on labour codes to even ensure a minimum wage for themselves. While Blinkit has not responded to any of their demands except to address the closure of some warehouses, it's interesting to note that Blinkit, like many other quick commerce apps actually, has been running into losses, with a loss of over 1,400 crores in the last financial year alone. So at the end of it all, while many of us have grown used to quick home deliveries, very few of us know the troubles of delivery executives who are now being squeezed by a company like Blinkit in order to cut costs.
And Apple's first Indian store is here. Amid a lot of fanfare and cheer, Apple's Mumbai store is now open. It was none other than the Apple CEO, Tim Cook, who welcomed the customers in the financial capital. The next store is coming up in Delhi on Thursday, but in Mumbai, fans travelled and waited for hours to be the first customers of the brand new Apple store. One Apple fan even brought a 1984 Mac to the grand opening. Let's take a look at the first day of the Apple store.
Usually people bring their phones, they bring their watches. What exactly have you brought?
The original Mac SE from 1984.
So you have been a loyal fan since then.
Since 1984 I have been using Apple products.
Apple CEO Tim Cook inaugurated the country's first Apple store in Mumbai today. Spread over 20,000 square feet, the Apple store will have over 100 employees who will be able to assist customers in 20 languages. While there was a huge crowd present outside the store, some Apple fans from Rajasthan, Pune and Mumbai were waiting since Monday night to shop at the store.
We have been camping here. The last meal was actually lunch yesterday for all three of us. We all met each other for the first time here, the fanboy vibes. So I met him on Twitter and then we connected and we decided to come here. And he joined us from Pune late last night. So 12 a.m. he was here and then we've been sitting together talking about Apple. We haven't slept. We have been sitting. Waiting.
I actually brought my sleeping bag with me. I came here, met these guys, did not leave it.
Apple's first retail store in the country has truly got an Indian touch, with elements from Rajasthan and New Delhi. The store has a dedicated solar array and there's zero reliance on fossil fuel for all store operations. Apple's growth, albeit off a lower base, is contrary to market trends, and their new navigation strategy included 3 broad steps: manufacturing iPhones locally, dovetailing with the Make in India program. To start expanding its retail presence, partly in response to other smartphone makers carpet bombing the nation with physical stores, and to gain market share by lowering prices regarding specific products.
After the first Apple store has been opened in Mumbai, people will now be able to experience and purchase Apple products from the store located at the Bandra Kurla complex. The store is a major step by Apple to increase its offline presence in the Indian market and take on its closest rivals. In Mumbai, with camera person Rajendra Dayalkar, Sohit Mishra, NDTV.
And now some good news. NDTV has won an award for being India's transformational brand in 2023. Sonia Singh, NDTV's editorial director, has been named India's transformational news anchor for the year 2023. Also receiving an award for India's transformational news anchor 2023 is Vishnu Shom, the executive editor of NDTV 24/7. The awards for 2023 have been given by an organization called WCRCINT, which evaluates brands in different countries.
One of the most well-known cases of English new journalism, Sonia has been popular with viewers consistently over the years. Congratulations, ma'am. Mr. Vishnu Shom, sir, from NDTV.